Hello, everybody, once again, and welcome back to Cap Social Network. So, in today's video, this story is on behalf of a 31-year-old Colorado woman who happened to have sex and get pregnant, believe it or not, by a 13-year-old boy. With that being said, I wanted to roll the clip for proof and more elaboration of how women, not just specifically black women, but women of all races have gone to an all-time desperation of going as far as having sex with minors and getting pregnant with minors. These same women who, for the most part, and are usually very fairly attractive, or very attractive to put it another way, in some cases, and could get, for the most part, any man within that age bracket, yet and still usually decides to go for younger guys, or guys that's young enough in most cases to be their sons. And this is also a prime example of how pedophilia is running wild along with child molestation, to the extent, once again, that women are so desperate to the point where they're going as far as, instead of going once again for guys or men within their own age bracket, are going for males that are young enough to be their sons. And this is also a primary example of how the majority of women suffer from mental disorders, mental illness as well. And once again, I want to go into more detail and provide more elaboration on this story. And as I will be doing so, I will be using a software by the name of Loom, which is a video conferencing app platforms that is similar, pretty much similar to Zoom, just spelled with an L instead. So here it goes, folks. Okay, folks. So here's the story. Unfortunately, due to, I guess, copyrights, I'm not able to let you hear the video. But and nonetheless, I will make sure that I will provide more elaboration on this topic and story, both this topic and story, by reading the details of the whole incident. Anyway, it starts off by saying, and by the way, folks, this, I know this story is some months old, dating back as far as March of this year. And I know it's amazing how it's almost been a year since this incident has happened. Once again, no, I just wanted to provide more proof of how the majority of women uh, usually suffer from some kind of mental illness, because no woman, in my personal opinion and in my very honest opinion, would stoop this low, especially a woman this beautiful. And after the video, I will make sure I will include a photo, first and foremost, of this woman's mugshot in the thumbnail. In my personal opinion, she's not a bad looking woman at all. And she could, just taking one look at her, I know a lot of you other guys, or well, excuse me, a lot of you other ladies and gentlemen would agree with me as well, that she should be able to have just about any man within her age bracket, her very own age bracket, that she may desire. Instead, decided to settle for having sex, not only having sex, but also, and even worse, bearing a child with a 13-year-old boy. Anyway, and once again, it starts off by saying a 31-year-old Colorado woman who authorities said had a sexual relationship with a 13-year-old boy and became pregnant with his child won't be facing jail time, according to reports. The Fountain Police Department said Andrea Serrano was arrested in July 2022 on felony charges, including sexual assault on a child by one position in a trust. By one in a position of trust, as well as sexual assault on a child. Police said she admitted to having sex with a teenager and was booked into the El Paso County Criminal Justice Center. Now she has accepted a plea deal with prosecutors, and the teen's parents are outraged. She also said she is frustrated, noted that she believes things would be different in a case involving an older man and a younger girl. I agree because for the most part, if it was a man that may have bared a kid or helped bring a kid into this world, a grown man of the same age, 31 years old, who may have both had sex and gotten a 13-year-old girl pregnant, he would have faced most likely a life sentence. He would have first gotten charged for doing so, then gotten sentenced in jail, and like I said, once again, would have faced a life sentence. But it's like every time, I don't know if it's just with me, but every time women do things of this nature, because factor in how many teachers usually uh, have sex and in some cases get pregnant by minors, usually by male students who are in most cases young enough to be their sons, how they just get quote unquote a slap on the wrist. Anyway, let me proceed with the rest of the article. I feel it like if she was a man and he was a little girl, it would definitely be different. The teen's mother told KKTV they would not be seeking what they would be seeking more. I feel like because he is not a woman, they are having compassion for her. KKTP reported that Serrano will be required to register as a sex offender, and a judge could sentence her to 10 years to life on sex offender intensive supervised probation. Serrano will avoid any jail time since the district attorney's office dropped the original charges to a lesser charge that does not come with mandatory jail time, according to KKTV. KKTV also noted that the teen's family plans to ask the courts to give their son custody of the baby. Well, there you have it once again, ladies and gentlemen, of how the majority of women nowadays suffer from serious cases of mental illness. Because once again, no woman in her right mind would go as far as settling for having sex when a minor, no fully grown woman that is, and even worse, would not think twice about even having a baby by, because for the most part, the minors are technically that they have sex with usually still babies themselves. Anyway, I'm not going to keep on dragging this video that much more further. However, and before I close out the video, make sure you guys first and foremost like the video, comment on it, let me know what you think about this whole ordeal, because there are also so many cases, like I stated earlier in the video, of how you hear quite often of how teachers, female teachers, are always having sex. Every time you look around in the news, you hear about cases of female teachers having sex when male students, minors usually, and even some of them go as far as having sex, well, or not having sex, I meant to say, but having kids by these same male students usually as, and some of these women are usually, in some cases, even married with kids themselves. To make it matters even worse, usually may have kids that are usually the same exact age or ages of the minors they usually have sex with, and in some cases usually have babies by. It's just sad how, and even worse, to make matters even worse, how most of these same women that get alleged or accused of having sex and arrested usually for having sex when minors, might as well say for molesting minors or much younger males, are usually released from jail. Don't hardly get sentenced any jail time usually for doing so. Once again, this just goes to show, ladies and gentlemen, how the majority of women nowadays who claim that they mature so much faster than us male, because it's a well-known fact, and due to the old adage or old saying that goes how females mature or girls mature more faster than guys, that's not always the truth. Well, not, excuse me, it's not always the truth. And this story is just a prime example of how females don't always mature faster than guys. Once again, folks, make sure you like the video, you comment on it, let me know about this, what you think about this whole entire story. Share the video so my video, both my video, my channel, Couch Social Network, be able to gain more traffic and a much more bigger follower. Last but not least, subscribe. Goodbye, guys.